These are the worst type of videos to make. You see, when you have to come on in front of camera and admit that you are second best, admit that the team was better than you. Because why? Why? You're going for the title. What do you mean a team was better than you? What do you mean a team fought more than you did? What do you mean that you got only one shot on target in 90 minutes of football? How do you explain that? How do you explain that you didn't create anything? How do you explain that every single one of your players were a shadow of themselves today? How do you explain that? How do you explain that you saw an opposing player, Joe Linton, do the same things that you want your players to be doing, fighting for every ball with every type of energy? And I'm not saying our boys haven't done it, because they have. They've done it time and time again throughout the years. But today, we were a shadow of ourselves. We couldn't just perform. From back to front, we looked like we were bereft of ideas. Nobody was making runs in behind. Or when Havertz made the runs, nobody would pass the ball. You see your attacking players frustrated. See Martinelli not being able to do anything right all game. Who take one player on, but his head is down. So he doesn't know what's coming. Everything he tried failed. For 60 minutes, it was awful. You look at Declan Rice, sloppy on the ball, having so many opportunities to put in a perfect cross from the set pieces, and every single one of them were poor. It is insane. Bar one where we got the ball cleared off the line. But every single time he stepped up to take a free kick, terrible. And I know he did it and got an assist against Liverpool. But what was that today, Rice? What was that? You know, the plan with the set pieces is because we know that teams will try to hurt us by playing the low block, mid block, and be compact. We know this. The goal of set pieces is to put one good one in and try to score goals. Then put the second in. But Rice, every time he stepped up, failed us today. And we were just unfortunate that we couldn't get any balls, any corner kicks on the other side. So Saka could actually cross the ball in. That was painful to watch today. And I just have to admit, Newcastle were better than us. We can't blame anybody for this defeat. They just seemed like they knew their assignment. They knew exactly what needed to be done. And shout out to Eddie Howe, because you can see that he clearly did his homework on Arsenal and Arteta. And for the first time in a long time, I was asking, what is plan B? Honestly, I guess plan A was do not go behind against Newcastle, especially at St. James Park. Because if you go behind against this team, long day, because they are super compact and they know exactly what they need to do and when they need to do it. We were awful today, and Newcastle have been crap all season almost. They've been poor, but today they decided to shine. Everybody. Gordon, beautiful cross. Nothing to be said about that goal. It was just wonderful. If you don't stop the cross from coming in, it was going to be a goal. Timber today, that was the only time he had that. He gave too much space because he could have blocked that ball. And once that ball left Gordon's leg, we knew it was going in. There was too much gap between Saliba and Gabriel. And I don't even know who to fault for that. I don't even know. Because they looked like they were in the right position. One was far away enough to clear the ball if he came short. But the ball was just inch perfect. But was he supposed to be free there? Probably not. I'm not a defensive coach. But that was poor. And I hope they sort this thing out. If you're not going to block the cross, then make sure there's a man sticking to the person who's going to get the header in. And we failed to do that today. We absolutely failed to do that today. Saka. Yeah, he created a last-ditch opportunity that Declan Rice should have scored. I don't know what he was doing. How do you close your eyes when you're about to score the goal that your team desperately needs? You close your eyes, you hit the ball off target. What do you expect? You should have, and he didn't even need to jump. He didn't even need to jump for that ball. It was just that inch-perfect cross straight to his head. All he needed to do was get enough punches on it, but he closed his eyes and he didn't get enough punches on the ball and he headed it wide. But I'm not going to get on to any player. I'm not scapegoating anybody. Wasn't good enough. From back to front, Havertz today, nothing. Anonymous. You know, Gabriel Jesus came on. You're a player that wants to be starting. You have to come in. They gave you 20 minutes today at least. You were so, what am I saying? 30 minutes he had. He came on in the 60th minute or so. Show us why you should be starting. But then you would argue that he's playing out of position. You would argue that. But today it wasn't just good, man. We were bereft of ideas throughout. And now, if Man City win, I should say when they win, because they are very likely to win that game, because we know Pep Guardiola and Man City, they always find a way. When they win, we'll be 8 points behind, and we are just in November. Our downfall usually comes in the December period, but look at us now, man. Look at us. All too familiar feeling. Maybe it's even good, Maybe it's even good that we just, maybe no pressure. That if you're first or second, there's that pressure. At the end of this weekend, we might be languishing in 7th or 8th place. Because all those teams behind us, the Aston Villa, even Nottingham Forest, if they win today, will go above us. It is crazy. Crazy. From a decent start, playing those tough away games, we went to Man City away, we went to Villa away, we went to Spurs away. We came out with our shoulders high. I came on here screaming, we don't miss Odegaard. We don't miss Odegaard. Boy, we miss Odegaard. Please, we miss that player that can play in those tight spaces and pick a pass, unlock a defense. We didn't have that. Waneri came on, did his thing today, but he's a young kid. You could see that he was not moving the right way. He couldn't see the right opportunities. There was a ball where he had an opportunity to run in behind, but White actually passed the ball well, but he had come short. That was where the space was. That was the opportunity to unlock. We kept coming short all game. Everything comes short. It's crazy. Pause. But it's too much coming short to get the ball that nobody was making runs in behind. But it's testament to how well Newcastle were today. The fans too. I from my house felt their energy, felt their pressure. Imagine these players. But this is not what you do when you're going for the league against Liverpool and Manchester City and all these other players. The Premier League is too difficult for you to be drawing this many games, to be losing this many games, to be 8 points behind a team if Man City win in November. This is not what you want. I think another thing this game showed me was how little Mikel Arteta trusts Sterling. It's so sad to see. Sterling couldn't get a game when you're chasing this, chasing Manchester City and Liverpool. When you were 5 points behind starting the game, you're losing a match. You don't trust Sterling to come on and make a difference. I know he didn't have the best game in the Carabao Cup. I understand that. But he's the only person we have when it comes to attacking that can actually change things. But you don't trust him to. At least I have the picture of Sterling from Liverpool and Man City in my head. He couldn't come on in this game. It's like, so why did we sign him? Why? This was a prime game to bring on Sterling, to have him do something. To at least show me as a fan that you actually trust this player that you signed. I understand it felt like a panic buy. I understand it was very last minute for us. It felt very surreal that Sterling, an Arsenal player, how? From Liverpool to Man City to Chelsea to Arsenal? Like, what happened? But I thought Mikel Arteta trusted that he could actually make an impact. I thought it was prime for him to come on because at least we know he's pacey. We know he can make some decent type of runs. But I think the problem is, who do you take off at that point? You've already taken off Trossard. You've already taken off Martinelli. We know that he's not going to take off Saka or Havertz. Even though I feel like we should have taken Havertz on to, give us something different. I know he doesn't have the aerial prowess that Havertz has. I know he's very short and probably doesn't have the energy that Havertz has. But Havertz didn't work all game today. He didn't work all game. Try something different. Like, bring him on and try to run in behind. Even though they were playing a low block, but something needed to change. Because we played the entire 80 minutes after we got down, or after we went a goal down, with no difference. We just looked like we were so predictable. And they were so comfortable. Hence why we got only one shot on target all game. All game. I know Mikel Arteta has gotten it right, but I thought he failed today. But big up to Newcastle though. And I hope that we can at least adjust and be better. But do I think we can still win the league? I don't think so. It breaks my heart to say it. But 8 points behind in November against these teams, the odds means we have to beat Man City when they come to our place. We have to go to Anfield and beat Liverpool because those are the two people who are very likely to be at the top at the end of the game. And it's not in our hands. It sucks when nothing is in your hands anymore. Even if we do everything right, if Man City do what they need to do, we're not going to win. If Liverpool do everything they need to do, we're not going to win. This is what happens when you let yourself down. This is what happens when you don't grab your opportunity by the scruff of the neck. It's painful, man. Please like, please comment and subscribe if you're new. It truly will help this channel out. Take care. God bless. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.